9, yesterday a protest was held outside the Tippecanoe County Courthouse. We have the details on what it was about.
Also, a recent bill regarding the pill mifepristone went through the Senate. What this means for Hoosiers.
And President Donald Trump continues to redecorate the White House throughout his second term. See some of the latest additions.
Plus, new spaces have reached the Kennedy Library. Discover how this addition is turning the page for readers.
And I'm tracking cold conditions. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Cameron No.
And I'm Brooke Falrad.
Protesters gathered yesterday evening at the Tippecanoe County Courthouse following recent concerns with United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement. This comes after the shooting of 37-year-old Alex Preddy in Minnesota during an altercation with ICE. Protesters were also frustrated regarding recent ICE deportations. Attendees gathered from all across Lafayette, including students from Purdue University. President Donald Trump is currently looking into the case, calling for an honest investigation.
Yesterday, Indiana Republican senators approved a Senate Bill 182. This bill prohibits transgender students at public K-12 schools and universities from using restrooms or locker rooms that match their gender identity.
The bill would also require the schools and universities affected to designate multiple-person restrooms, locker rooms, and changing areas based on their reproductive biology at birth. Protesters gathered outside the Senate chamber ahead of the vote, believing the bill would increase harassment of transgender people. The bill also toughens restrictions on changing sex designation on a birth certificate.
New legislation passed on the Senate floor yesterday with a 35-10 vote. Senate Bill 236 will allow anyone to sue over the illegal use of the abortion pill mifepristone. The bill prohibits the manufacturing, distributing, or prescribing of abortion pills in the state of Indiana. Democratic leaders opposed the bill, with Senate Minority Leader Shelley Yoder stating that it is, quote, extreme and legally reckless, end quote. This redefines the meaning of abortion to, quote, cause the death of an unborn child, end quote. Medical professionals say that the new wording does not take into account any other dangerous conditions.
President Donald Trump has been involved in redecorating parts of the White House throughout his second term. And yesterday, the press corps got to see the newly remodeled Palm Room. Gold-frame photos on the walls of the room showed President Trump alongside various leaders, including Russian President Vladimir Putin, Chinese President Xi Jinping, and Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Other photographs showed Trump alone inside the Oval Office, Trump pumping his fist as he boards Air Force One, and hosting soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo.
You probably saw your health insurance premium go up this year, regardless of how you get your insurance, through your employer, Medicare, or the Affordable Care Act. Experts say there are many common factors driving up the cost. One of those top reasons is that Americans have been going to the doctor more often in recent years, partly due to deferring treatment during the pandemic. Experts say increased utilization has led to the diseases being diagnosed in later stages in some patients, leading to more intensive treatments. Experts also say there have been an increase in Americans suffering from chronic diseases, including cancer, heart disease, and obesity. According to the Health Policy Research Group, KFF, several insurances on the Affordable Care Act cited medications as the reason for premium increases. Now we're wrapping up a kind of crazy week after that major winter storm. It's been kind of melting here, but not really much.
Yeah, I feel like on some of the roads, like some of the more popular roads, it's melted, but on some of the back roads, they're still not great.
I know that my car's kind of been sliding. I got stuck the other day. I had to get shoveled out.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I know. But hopefully it's going to be a little bit better. Orion, what do you have for us?
Yeah, we are seeing these very cold current conditions. We see across the state very low. 9 degrees in Indianapolis, 8 degrees in Muncie, 0 degrees in Terre Haute. Now there's only 11 degrees in South Bend, but we see a little bit warmer in Evansville at 23. Now throughout the next 12 hours, we see those temperatures start to get below 0 and actually get down to -1 at 7 a.m. and 8 a.m. I will be tracking negative lows tonight along with lingering clouds tomorrow, and we actually see an increase in temperatures next week.
Thank you, Orion. Kennedy Library is rewriting the way people focus. NewsLink Indiana's Sophie Schick peered beyond the books to learn more.
Libraries aren't the whisper-only spaces they used to be, and that's not a bad thing, but finding complete silence can be a bit of a challenge. Until now. These are Zen booth pods at Kennedy Library, and they're almost completely soundproof. Muncie Public Library kicked off the new year with a grant from the Patricia Schaefer Foundation Trust, and 4 Zen booths made their way into its busiest branch. Whether you need to study, join a meeting, or just take a moment to breathe, you can reserve a pod no problem. And the best part, no library card required.
We're more of a community space, and I think things like the booths are things that help people use the library. You can come and just be at the library and not spend any money.
And that's exactly what people are doing. Instead of settling down in a cafe, people are using their resources, and the staff couldn't be happier.
It's great to see that a resource that we've been trying to get here specifically at Kennedy Library is here, and we're glad to see that it's being used. Kennedy
Library is only the beginning. Someday, you may see Zen Booth pods at other locations. Kennedy Library is starting a new chapter for what it means for libraries to serve the community. In Muncie, Sophie Schick, NewsLink, Indiana.
To reserve a pod, stop by the information desk at Kennedy Library or call ahead.
A game that is decades old is finding new life in Muncie. NewsLink Indiana's Mira Bloomer has a story.
With the hit show Stranger Things ending, a new generation of Dungeons & Dragons players have taken over the Muncie community.
I think D&D has been very popular for a very long time. I think maybe it just kind of made it easier for people to say, hey, I could come out and say that I like that without being labeled as a geek or a nerd.
Dungeons & Dragons is a game that works through imagination and creativity.
I used to think it's just like a nerdy game where you roll dice and things are random and then this guy just tells you what happens. But in reality, it's like a very, the most immersive way to storytell without anything but your voices.
Although popular in the early 80s, the D20 Dungeon has kept the hype going in Muncie, focusing on bringing players from their brains to the board.
I don't want you to be thinking about anything going on outside of this building. The moment that you cross the threshold, I want you to be in the world that you want to be in. And even if it's just for a few short hours, it's a reprieve from everything else. And I don't think that there's anywhere else that emulates exactly what we do.
Making sure that the space is accessible for everyone, no matter the knowledge of the game.
Like a lot of the pricing for it is meant to be so entry level that like a small group can easily afford it.
The D20 Dungeon has combined work and play in the best way, fostering a community that continues to evolve and inspire. In Muncie, Mira Bloomer, NewsLink, Indiana.
For more information, go to www.d20dungeon.net.
Coming up, a recall on certain type of blood of baby food is sweeping the nation. Find out how your family might be affected.
And an update on tobacco prevention. Learn what experts say on the state of tobacco use in the U.S. This and more after the break.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, We all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
Welcome back. A baby food manufacturer has issued a nationwide recall on one of their products. Gerber has issued a voluntary recall of some of its arrowroot biscuits for possibly containing pieces of soft plastic and paper. So far, no injuries or illnesses have been reported. Gerber says the recall is out of an abundance of caution. The company also says they are no longer working with the flour supplier that first initiated the recall. You can find more information about the recall at fda.gov.
It's called the State of Tobacco Control, an annual report card that grades state and federal efforts to reduce tobacco use, and the analysis released today comes with a warning. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither explains why experts are worried that the hard-won progress in tobacco use prevention may be at risk.
In its newly released annual report card, the American Lung Association says smoking rates for adults dropped from just over 23% in 2000 to below 11% in 2023. And while youth tobacco use is at its lowest level in 25 years, more than 2 million middle and high school students still use tobacco, including e-cigarettes.
Certainly not necessarily something a report card you'd want to bring home to your parents.
Despite major strides, tobacco use remains the leading cause of preventable death and disease in the U.S., claiming more than 490,000 lives every year. And the report warns progress could quickly unravel due to changes in tobacco use prevention and cessation efforts.
I want to see us continue to fight and drive down smoking rates so nobody has to deal with the consequences.
When it comes to regulation of tobacco products and coverage of treatments to help people quit smoking, the report gives the federal government a D. It received an F for the level of federal tobacco taxes and an I for incomplete on mass media campaigns aimed at preventing and reducing use. A B was given for funding tobacco prevention and control, and state grades were also a concern.
No state got all A's, but there were a few. They got the few best states, including California, Colorado, Delaware, D.C., Maine, and Massachusetts. And then the states with the worst grades, scoring F's in all 5 grading categories, were Georgia, Mississippi, Texas, and Alabama.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
To keep tobacco control progress headed in the right direction, the report suggests putting into place public policies like higher tobacco taxes, smoke-free workplace laws, and greater federal regulation of tobacco products, like reducing nicotine levels in cigarettes and ending the sale of flavored tobacco products.
Vitamin D is a critical part of overall health and can be acquired through safe sun exposure. But when it's cold outside, experts say maintaining proper levels gets harder. Here are some of the symptoms of vitamin D deficiency and tips on how to replenish this important nutrient even in winter. Dr. Najaviez with Cleveland Clinic says low levels can lead to deficiency with symptoms such as fatigue, bone pain, and mood changes. Though Viez says to help maintain vitamin D levels by going outside for about 15 minutes most days of the week or a bit longer if underlying medical conditions prevent proper absorption. If you can't make it outside, the nutrient can also be found naturally in foods like eggs and fatty fish. Viez also says taking vitamin D supplements can also help if you still need an extra boost.
I'm tracking below zero overnight lows after the break.
After his wife passed, my neighbor Larry started drinking a lot. He was in distress and acting out. He had guns around, and I didn't want anything bad to happen. I pressed pause. Our local authorities filed a firearm restraining order to temporarily remove the guns. It gave Larry the time he needed to get help. It wasn't easy, but we got through it together. Learn more at illinois.gov/pause to heal.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
Be right there. Wait. Use the shovel and bucket of water, remember? Drown, stir, drown, feel. Then make sure it's cool.
Where'd you learn that?
SmokeyBear.com. Brushed up on some tips before we left. Don't want to start a wildfire, right?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back. We are outside Cooper Science right now. We see there's a very clear sky out there. It looks beautiful. We see some snow out there on the ground, but don't let that fool you. It is only 8 degrees out there right now. The visibility isn't too bad, 10 miles and above. We see some pretty moderate winds coming out of the west-southwest at 7 miles per hour. Now we do see some current temperatures here way below 10 degrees. We have 8 degrees in Muncie, Farmland, Newcastle, and Anderson. We also see some really low at 3 degrees in Marion and 5 degrees in Richmond. I would not want to be them right now. Zooming out to the rest of the state, it is not any better. 8 degrees in Muncie, 9 degrees in Indianapolis, really low in Fort Wayne at 3, very low in Terre Haute at 0 degrees. And when we look into the next 12 hours, we see those temperatures start to decrease throughout the night, getting below 0 and into the negatives, being -1 at 7 and 8 a.m. Tonight it will get down to -6, so that dropping below, that will not be the coldest temperature. It will get down to -6. We see some partly cloudy skies with some winds coming out of the west at 5 miles per hour. So if you go out tonight, make sure to bundle up because it is extremely cold out there. Now the thing you really need to be looking out for right now is that wind chill. The wind chill is what it really feels like outside. Tomorrow at 8 a.m. for those 8 a.m. classes, it is only going to be -10 degrees. Then we see -11 in Winchester, -10 in Portland, and -8 in Anderson. Now luckily those temperatures will get above the negative and will get above 0 for Thursday afternoon. Now when we look at our future radar, we do see that we have a lot of cloud coverage coming through. Luckily not much precipitation will be coming down our way, but we see some lake effect snow up there near Lake Michigan, but those clouds will stick with us throughout the rest of the next couple of days. And into tomorrow, we see those cloud coverage stay with us. It'll only be about -1 degrees at 8 a.m., 9 degrees at noon, and 13 degrees at 5, with some pretty moderate to calm winds coming out of the west at 5 miles per hour. Now, our next 5 days, we see it is very cold getting into the weekend, but we see a dramatic increase getting up to 25 on Monday. It seems like a heat wave out here compared to what we've been seeing. And we do see a low for the weekend getting down to 11 on Saturday. Now, unfortunately, that 25 isn't too close to that average high we're used to feeling about this time of year at 36 degrees. Looking into our next week, we do see that cold dip starting off the weekend, but that temperature starts to rise up, gets into the 25 on Monday and 31 on Wednesday. Feels like we're in Florida out here. Now, unfortunately, with those warm conditions, we do still see a chance of snow on Monday and Wednesday, 20% on Monday, 30% on Wednesday, and those lows will be in the negatives to start out the weekend, but they will get all the way up to about 20 degrees.
Now you mentioned Florida. I would love to be in Florida compared to this weather. I mean, you were showing me the graphics. We're not even going to be in the melting point. I wish that snow would go away.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, my mom got back from Florida today, and I'm really jealous that she got to be there because I'm really ready for summer to come back.
Me too.
Did she fly away because of the storm, or was she there for something else?
She was visiting family with a friend, but she did get stuck. She was supposed to come back on Monday.
Okay, so she got lucky then.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know my roommate, his parents flew to Florida just for this.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you,
Yeah,
Orion.
of course.
There's lots more to get to on NewsLink Indiana. Max Wheeler has a preview of sports.
Thanks, Brooke and Cameron. A local Muncie high school is turning its basketball program around, and a Ball State swimmer is gliding toward nationals. All this and more next in sports.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing we do to keep us focused.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game?
To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health.
Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mind
and mental health. Find the resources you need to keep your mental health a priority. Love your mind.
Here's the deal. We gotta set ourselves up. See, retirement is the long game. We can't play about our future or our finances. Make moves, set up goals. Don't worry about a setback. Just save up, stack up to reach them. Let's put ourselves in the right position. Pre-game to greater things. This is pre-tirement.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depression stuff.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I am Max Willey with Sport. A Muncie High School basketball team is finding new life under familiar leadership. NewsLink Indiana Michael Bowe laced up his shoes to get a better look.
The Muncie Central boys basketball team is on track to have their best record since the 2022-2023 season. But according to sophomore guard Jackson Johnson, they are only worried about what is in front of them.
I feel like we come in and work hard every single day. We take one day at a time, and we don't worry about the future or sectionals. We try to get better each and every day.
Their record shows that things have changed with this team, and part of the reason for that is head coach Jeff Holloway, who last coached for the team back in 2016.
And a couple people called and asked if I would be interested in coming back, and I had to think about it because when you're coaching, you're leaving a group of kids. So then the more I thought about it, this is home. I was here before. I graduated from here, so it just felt right to come back and get back in that way.
Coach Holloway brings a different perspective to the court, as he has not only played at the collegiate level, but the professional level as well.
I just think little things and the way things are kind of taught. You learn one way kind of playing, but I was fortunate enough to play for certain guys at high school, certain guys in college, and I got to play overseas a little bit and see how the game is played internationally. They play a little different than we did.
And coach has gotten the most out of his guys, as sophomore guard Jackson Johnson has jumped in scoring from 11 points per game to 18 in just a span of 1 year. Coach knows that at the end of the day, the team has to stay consistent to keep on winning.
We're getting better every game. We're getting better every game. You might come one game and then you'll see us play really well, and then we'll have a lull. But understand in practice that they're working extremely hard. So
in Muncie, Michael Ball, NewsLink Indiana.
Tumbling to the mats, Ball State Gymnastics have swept this week conference awards. Junior Ashley Szymanski won MAC Specialist of the Week for the second week in a row. The specialist won the honor after achieving a score of 9.8 on the bars and a score of 9.850 on the beam in the Cards win last Saturday. Freshman Carly Sadler would win Gymnast of the Week by tying a career-high vault score and tying for first on the beam with a score of 9.825. The Cardinals will fly to Southeast Missouri State to compete in a quad meet on Sunday. Diving into the pool, Ball State swimmer Peyton Kelly has taken over this season. The senior from Canada is leading the women's swimming and diving team with 17 individual wins this season. In her freshman year, she broke the school record for the 50-meter freestyle, which stood for nearly 40 years. Since then, she has broken her own record every year since. Kelly and the rest of the team are now about a month out from the MAC championships. But Kelly is eyeing something that she doesn't have in her record book yet, an invite to the NCAA championship.
It's basically swimming my heart out at MAC and giving it my all and crossing my fingers that I'll make an invite. And being left off of it every year has definitely always driven me to be better the next season, and it's always made me better the next season. But I just think it'd be the cherry on top of my college career to finally make it at the end.
Your last chance to catch them at home this season is Friday at 5:30 when they take on the Indiana State Sycamores. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really good at swimming, so I'm always really impressed when I see those girls break all these records and do this great for the school. So yeah.
Yeah, I love swimming. I feel like as a kid I had a dream that I wanted to be like an Olympic swimmer, but I was never that good.
Yeah, I know that a lot of the sports segment was about how powerful all these women athletes are, and it's honestly very powerful and impressive. Like you said, kind of the two words that kind of shining through the segment that you said.
Yeah, I'm really proud of them actually. You know, being a Ball State Cardinal here and seeing all these awards being given to them. I'm just really proud of the girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Max. Coming up, Kaveen Maharo has a look at your campus coverage.
And we'll have one final look at your weather. Stay with us.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me in ways that I never knew that I could be broken. And I contemplated suicide. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe. Store your gun securely, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo.
Mom was always organized, but she started forgetting to pay her bills on time.
And she'd buy the same gifts over and over.
Telling the girls about my Alzheimer's diagnosis was really hard.
At first we had our cries, but then we were like, okay, let's make a plan.
Early detection gave us time to adapt together.
It's so important for you to think about what you can do and making the most of what you have.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kaveen Maharo, and this is your campus coverage. Music is universal. It brings people from across the world together, creating communities with a shared passion for different genres. The K-pop club at Ball State has been around for 5 years, and in those years it has been seeing significant growth due to the genre's popularity. Annabelle Sibelhouse, the president of K-pop club, expresses what she will miss the most once she graduates.
Clubs aren't necessarily a thing once you graduate. Like, there's like book clubs and things like that, but like it's harder to gather people together. So I think I'm really gonna miss the community of people who just really love and enjoy K-pop like I do.
To find out when the K-pop club holds its events, go to their Instagram page at K-pop Club BSU.
Now, like you said, you mentioned all those genres kind of coming together. I don't know about you guys, but have you been paying attention to how much music is dropping soon?
Honestly, and the concerts?
I know.
I
don't have the money for all this.
Me neither.
I know, but I do know I have the ears for it. I'll be listening to everything dropping.
Yes, I am so excited. I feel like during the winter months especially, I'm always listening to music. But
yeah, because you're inside all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Kaveen. Let's hear from Orion for our final look at weather.
Yeah, we see this dip in temperature to start off the weekend, getting down to 11 on Saturday, but it will start to rise this at the end of the weekend, getting up to 25 on Monday and 31 on Wednesday. And we see some light snow coming in on Monday and Wednesday, and we see the temperatures getting out of the negatives at the end of the week.
I'm excited to see the weathers are at least getting a little bit warmer.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much, Orion.
Thank you. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page, YouTube channel, and WCRD 91.3.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to cardinalmediabsu.com. Have a great night and stay safe.